What is up, Sports Talk Detroit Nation? Hey, good to be back. I've been gone a while. I said I did one other video as well, but it's good to be back. Had a little surgery on my nose. I was out about 3.5 weeks. Chris killed it, and you know what? It's free agency. Things are going well. The nose isn't perfectly healed, but that's okay. Needed to get back on here and just start talking to you guys a little bit. So don't worry, I'll make the box really small pretty soon so you don't have to keep looking at it. And what I want to talk to you about in this video is the Detroit Lions and how they have set themselves up perfectly for the NFL draft by how they have done free agency thus far. So far, it's been really, really good. And I just want to talk to you about some of the holes that we filled and why this means good things for the NFL draft. Because one of the things you don't want to be stuck with in the NFL draft is drafting for need. You don't know what players are going to fall where. And if you have glaring holes and you have glaring weaknesses on your team, then you end up reaching for players that you probably shouldn't take there because you're so afraid that they'll be gone in the future. So you don't want to draft for need in the draft. You want to draft for talent, especially in the early rounds when the talent level can be such a wide gap. As you get into later rounds, yeah, do some needs and get players you like. So let's start by recapping free agency, who we signed, who we re-signed, and then I'll talk about positional versatility and things like that. Okay, so with this first one, you can see there are some players that have been signed by the Detroit Lions. Mac McCain is one of them, not a big one, but a cornerback nonetheless that may be able to come in and compete for a roster position. But here's the big, now we're calling it the big four signings in free agency. We brought in not one, ladies and gentlemen, but two corners, and it is good. Cam Sutton, 3 years, $33 million. He is a great outside corner. He can play everywhere. He's played in the slot, but a couple years ago, he settled in on the outside and has had really, really good years. And if you look at all the metrics, whether it's PFF, whether it is yards per completion, whether it is tackling, tackling a little bit, but whether yards per completion, all these things, completion percentage, yards per game allowed, all of them fall into a top 10 cornerback tier. That's really good. Then we go out and we sign a prove it deal guy, Emmanuel Moseley. And when I say prove it, I don't mean a guy who is drafted high, right? Which we've done, Charles Harris, right? I don't mean a guy who is drafted high but is yet to play well in the league. I don't even know if Moseley was drafted. He might have been an undrafted free agent. He found his way into a starting role on a very good San Francisco 49ers defense and played very, very well. Pittsburgh fans are sad to lose Sutton. 49ers fans are very sad to lose Moseley, but he tore his ACL in week 5 last year. The expectation is that he will absolutely be ready by training camp, but we gave him a 1-year, $6 million deal. Doesn't break the bank if he's unable to, but if he is, he might be our other starting corner. And when we talk about not needing to draft for need, I've been going mock draft crazy, whether it's listening to podcasts, whether it's running mock drafts for myself. And every time, do you know what people do for the Detroit Lions? They draft Christian Gonzalez or Devin Weatherspoon or Joey Porter Jr. because they say, it might be a little early. Like, I'd like to take these guys around 10, but the Lions need a corner so bad. So I'm going to reach and I'm going to get this. This would allow us to, if we still wanted a corner, great. If we thought he was the best player on the board and Christian Gonzalez is your guy, go for it. Otherwise, trade down to 8, trade to 9, trade to 10. Maybe one of those, not 9. The Bears probably won't trade with us, but like trade down to one of those positions and then go get your cornerback. Or don't even get a corner. Maybe Jalen Carter's sitting there. Don't even get me started on all the troubles that he's in. I'm not going to go there on this video. We will talk about it, I'm sure, in the future. But anyways, let's move on past corner. We signed running back David Montgomery. This is a mixed emotion deal for Lions fans. If we did not love Jamal Williams because of Hard Knocks, because of the production, like, I know this is a weird thing to say. I feel like we were booty blinded by Jamal Williams to an extent. He has such a great personality, which is important, which is huge. He's a good guy. He loves football and that's what he does. And he talked about how much he loves Detroit. But the reality is we obviously couldn't come to terms with what we felt he was worth. So we signed David Montgomery to a 3-year, $18 million deal. And then all of a sudden, Jamal Williams is signing a 3-year, $12 million deal. That's a tough pill to swallow. But ladies and gentlemen, don't be mistaken by 17 touchdowns. David Montgomery is a better running back than Jamal Williams. He is shiftier. He breaks tackles at a ridiculous rate, much higher than Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams is a more powerful back. David Montgomery breaks tackles at a much higher rate. And we'll talk about that, I'm sure, in a different video, and Chris kind of already has. And then our most recent signing as to date of filming this was Graham Glasgow, a 1-year, $4.5 million deal. This is either going to be our new starting right guard, or he's going to be a very good backup interior lineman. How about the players we brought back? We brought back defensive tackle Isaiah Buggs, Craig Reynolds, who will now be coming into the year as our third running back. We shored up our linebacker room. Alex Anzalone re-signed. That felt a little rich for my blood. We got a backup offensive tackle, Matt Nelson. We bring back Will Harris. We bring back John Kaminsky. So why am I telling you all this, and why does this set up so well for next year? And then we'll talk about who we lost. And I alluded to it in the beginning of the video. I really did. But I'm going to say it again. You don't want to draft for need. So before it was, the Detroit Lions are picking at 6. If Carter drops to there, you need a defensive tackle to put next to Aleem McNeil. Well, no, I agree. Buggs isn't the guy that you want starting and playing 70% or 60% of your snaps. He's a good player. He's a good player. You can upgrade there, but they really like what they have in him. They really like what they have in him. So that's not a bad thing. So all of a sudden, people aren't saying, well, they will 100% get a defensive tackle. That nobody is going to say, well, they have to get a corner, because we quietly just went from the worst cornerback room in the league to at least middle of the pack. If these players continue playing like they did, I don't know if at least middle of the pack, top 20. Okay. It's the offensive line. Oh, well, they need a right guard. No, we don't. We've got Amon-Ra St. Brown. We've got Reynolds. We've got Williams at wide receiver. Like, we have a wide receiver room. Oh, are they going to go wide receiver? No, they don't need to. Well, what about running back? Like, they have to go running back because they lost William. Nope. We got David Montgomery. We can do anything. We could go quarterback. We could go best player available. If Will Anderson falls to us, take him. You would anyway. You get to put yourself in a position where we've seen Brad Holmes draft. When he is able to draft for talent instead of need, man, oh man, does he do awesome. So with the 6th pick, with the 18th pick in the first round, now you're just saying, what do you need, Brad? And he can go get it. He can go get it. Now, I don't want to finish this video before I will say we did lose 3 players, Evan Brown and Jamal Williams. We re-signed somebody of the same position, no problem. Deshaun Elliott, this is weird. This is weird. A reported 1-year, $1.77 million. That's another video. We couldn't afford $1.77 million for Deshaun Elliott. Like, what do they know that I don't? It's weird, man. All right. Hey, it's good being back. Man, it feels good being back. Missed all y'all. Look forward to reading the comments, and we'll see you on the next one.